Now, what are we actually trying to do in a comprehension? Well, here is what we're trying to do very, very simply. All we're trying to do is comprehend, understand. Now, this is one of the key ways I want you to change the way you think about your comprehension exercises, in that many students, when they are reading the texts, they're not focusing enough on understanding what it means. Okay, so comprehension comes from the word comprehend. You can fill it out there. Comprehension comes from the word comprehend. This means to understand. So when you read through your text, please, everybody, try to not focus on reading the words and instead just focus on understanding. I know you're probably thinking, oh, this is a bit of a weird idea. It is a weird idea, but a lot of the time, if you actually analyze how you read, and you'll see when we use a few examples of how we actually learned to read, okay, I can talk to you about it now maybe. When we learned to read, okay, all we were focused on was saying the word. Do you remember when you were blending all those sounds together and you were doing the Biff, Chip, Kipper books? Who did those? You remember that with the magic key and all that? Yeah, everybody did. You see, I did too. That's the British education system. Okay, so it hasn't changed for a long time. But you can see the way we were taught to read is you would kind of, if you had chip as a word, you would go chipper, right? And you'd read the word like that. And your whole brain had to focus on that, right? Because we were young, you know, we were smart, but we were young. So we couldn't quite think about the whole word in one. You had to really take a lot, you know, it's a lot of effort to say the word. And also, you didn't really have a clue what the word meant. Maybe a little bit. But you know, the way that we all figured out what was going on? There's a reason why the pictures in those books were massive, weren't they? The pictures were huge, and you had like one line at the end, didn't you? One line at the bottom. It's because what we did is we'd read the words, we wouldn't understand them at all. We'd just look at the picture and we'd say, yeah, mum, dad, this is what's going on. They're doing this, that, and this. Okay? That's how we learn to read. And there, we're just focusing on reading the word. We're not actually focusing on understanding it. And the higher up the levels of reading you go, the better you are at just reading the word, and your brain isn't even thinking about reading it. Your brain is thinking about what that word means. All right. And then the really experienced readers, what they're doing is they're able to figure out what complete sentences and then obviously complete paragraphs mean very, very quickly, because their brain is focusing on what is the meaning of these words rather than reading the word out. Okay.